Hey everyone, in my video series on the main antagonists from Batman, the animated series, today it's Joker's turn. Joker is Batman's iconic arch-nemesis and one of the most captivating characters in Batman, the animated series. As a master of chaos, sadistic clown, and insane criminal, he is characterized by his unpredictability, his dark humor, and his unconditional dedication to anarchy. Despite his seemingly silly facade, the Joker is a deeply dangerous psychopath whose motives go far beyond ordinary crime. Joker appears in 13 out of 85 episodes. I generally exclude cameo appearances. Let's first take a look at all these episodes together and what we learn about the Joker from them. Episode 2, Christmas with the Joker. On Christmas Eve, the Joker manages to escape from Arkham Asylum by using a rocket disguised as a Christmas tree topper. Meanwhile, Robin tries to convince Batman to spend the evening relaxing, but Batman remains suspicious. When they discover that the Joker is hosting a TV show called Christmas with the Joker and is holding Commissioner Gordon, Harvey Bullock, and Summer Gleason as hostages, the hunt begins. Joker uses a series of deadly toys against Batman and Robin, including cannon fire from an observatory, giant nutcrackers, and toy planes. Finally, they find his hideout in the LAFCO toy factory, where the Joker dangles the hostages over a cauldron of liquid plastic. Batman can save them, and the Joker slips on roller skates, leading to his rearrest. What do we learn about the Joker in this episode? Joker loves to combine chaos with theatricality. He turns his crimes into a grotesque show. He sees himself as an entertainer and enjoys challenging Batman with riddles. Despite his ruthlessness, he possesses a certain form of honor. He wants Batman to actively play against him, rather than just killing. Christmas means nothing to him. He rejects sentimentality, as his sarcastic bah humbug shows. Episode 4, The Last Laugh. On April 1st, the Joker releases a toxic laughing gas that drives the residents of Gotham into a state of madness. While he plunders businesses with his masked henchmen, Alfred gets infected and begins to destroy the estate. Batman confronts Joker on a ship full of contaminated garbage, but is defeated by Joker's giant robot henchman Captain Clown and thrown into the water. He escapes and chases Joker to a landfill. There, he manages to destroy Captain Clown in a scrap press and defeat Joker after a wild chase in an industrial complex. What do we learn about the Joker in this episode? Joker sees himself as an agent of chaos. He wants Gotham to destroy itself. He feels no empathy for his victims. Poisoning the population is just a macabre joke to him. Captain Clown shows that the Joker likes to use bizarre helpers. He doesn't just rely on human henchmen. His sadistic humor becomes evident when he seals Batman alive in a box and throws it into the sea. In the end, his cowardice is revealed. As soon as his life is in danger, he begs for rescue. Episode 9, Be a Clown. Mayor Hill criticizes Batman in a speech and compares him to the Joker. He feels insulted and decides to take revenge. He disguises himself as Jekko the Clown and crashes the birthday party of Hill's son Jordan. He impresses the boy with tricks and convinces him to run away with him. Joker takes Jordan to his hideout in an abandoned amusement park, where he teaches him dangerous magic tricks. When Batman arrives, the Joker uses Jordan to set a deadly trap. But when Jordan realizes that Batman is actually in mortal danger, he helps him escape. There is a wild roller coaster chase, during which Batman saves Jordan and sends the Joker tumbling into the water. Jordan returns home, and his father realizes how important his son is to him. What do we learn about the Joker in this episode? Joker has an enormous ego. The mere comparison with Batman is enough to drive him to seek revenge. He plays with the innocence of children. His manipulation of Jordan shows his cruelty. Joker loves classic villain hideouts like amusement parks and uses them for deadly traps. He enjoys challenging Batman in macabre theatrical scenarios. His death trap with the water tank is reminiscent of a Houdini performance. Episode 22, Joker's Favor. an average citizen named Charlie Collins insults the Joker in traffic. To his misfortune, Joker notices this and forces him to repay a future favor. 2 years later, Joker calls him and demands that he open a door for Harley Quinn, leading to an attack on a celebration for Commissioner Gordon. Charlie realizes that the Joker wants to kill him and warns Batman through an improvised bat signal. After a wild chase, Charlie confronts the Joker himself in a dark alley and threatens to kill himself and the Joker with a bomb. In a panic, Joker surrenders only to find out that the bomb was harmless. Batman arrests the Joker, and Charlie can finally go home in peace. What do we learn about the Joker in this episode? He loves to terrorize people over a long period of time. Charlie's fear is a long-standing hobby for him. Joker feels invincible and believes he can manipulate anyone. But when the tables turn, he is cowardly. His panic when Charlie threatens him is a rare moment of genuine fear. His narcissism is evident in that he is only interested in his epic battle with Batman. A normal person defeating him is unimaginable to him. Episode 33, The Laughing Fish. In Gotham, the fishermen are worried about a strange catch. All the fish have white skin, green fins, and a grotesque Joker smile. Batman, watching from afar, immediately recognizes that the Joker is behind it. While Batman conducts a toxicological analysis of the fish in the Batcave, the Joker pays a visit to the Gotham Copyright Office. There, he demands that the employee G. Carl Francis register the copyright on all Joker fish to collect royalties. When Francis explains that natural products cannot be copyrighted, Joker reacts angrily and gives him a deadline until midnight to change his mind. Batman discovers that the poison only affects fish, but then a commercial for the Joker fish airs, in which Joker reaffirms his threat against Francis. The police guard Francis in his house, but Batman warns that Joker will still find a way to reach him. Indeed, shortly after, a van with a giant, rocket-powered swordfish appears, flying through the window and spraying gas. Francis inhales it, starts laughing hysterically, and gets the Joker grin, but Batman administers an antidote to him. He explains that the gas is a binary compound and that the perfume cloud Harley Quinn had previously sprayed on Francis was the second component. Shortly thereafter, Joker announces his next target, the copyright officer Thomas Jackson. Again, Batman and the police try to protect the victim, but the Joker uses Jackson's own cat, which has been infected with his poison. When the cat scratches Batman, he also becomes infected. Fortunately, it is not Jackson, but Batman in disguise, who gets the antidote in time. Bullock is annoyed by the defensive strategy and decides to hunt down the Joker himself. Meanwhile, Batman discovers that one of the Joker fish is an exotic Japanese species, a clue to Joker's whereabouts. Bullock is captured in the aquarium by Harley's men while Joker plans to lower him into a shark tank. Batman voluntarily swaps places with Bullock, but when the Joker then pushes Bullock into the water, Batman has to get creative. He directs the shark with his handcuffs and steers it against the glass wall of the pool, causing the water along with the shark to flow into the bay. On the roof, the final battle takes place. Joker, cornered, jumps into the water and inflates a float. But he ends up exactly where the shark is waiting. While Gordon wonders if the Joker is finally dead, Batman looks skeptically at the sea. Although the shark appears and swallows a Joker card, Joker's fate remains uncertain. What do we learn about the Joker in this episode? He sees himself as a kind of brand icon. His attempt to secure a copyright on the Joker fish shows his narcissistic self-overestimation and his perversion of capitalism. His plans are absurd, but dangerously well thought out. His poison is not only deadly but also chemically sophisticated, essentially two components that only work together. He enjoys having power over others. He not only mocks Francis and Jackson but also brings them to their knees through insidious methods. His survival instinct is strong. Although he seems to be eaten, it is not certain whether he is really dead, which underscores his unstoppable nature. Episode 36, The Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne. Judge Maria Vargas is observed by Batman during a money exchange with two thugs. When Batman intervenes, she desperately tries to save a VHS tape, which makes Batman suspicious. Later, he learns that Vargas was at a relaxation resort owned by Daggett Industries, where she was apparently blackmailed. As Bruce Wayne, he visits the clinic and undergoes hypnosis by Dr. Hugo Strange. Strange uses a machine that records secret thoughts and is shocked when he discovers that Bruce Wayne is Batman. He then contacts Joker, Penguin, and Two-Face to sell Wayne's identity to the highest bidder. While Strange is conducting his business, Bruce searches his lab, finds Vargas' tape, and destroys the machine. But Strange has already made a copy of Bruce's tape. He is kidnapped and the auction begins, but Batman manages to free himself and sabotages the broadcast. Strange tries to save himself by telling the criminals that Bruce Wayne is Batman, but Two-Face laughs at him. When the criminals try to throw Strange out of a plane, Batman appears and forces them to land. Strange is arrested, convinced that he knows Batman's secret. But then Bruce Wayne appears next to Batman, a trick, because Dick Grayson had disguised himself as Bruce. Strange is left confused and helpless. What do we learn about the Joker in this episode? He has no respect for money. While Penguin and Two-Face are interested in the auction, Joker suggests simply pooling the money together. For him, it's more about the chaos than the profit. He doesn't even trust his own accomplices. While Penguin and Two-Face are still weighing the deal, Joker remains suspicious of Strange. He doesn't believe Bruce Wayne is Batman. His cynicism prevents him from falling for Strange's deception. Episode 40, Joker's Wild. When the Joker in Arkham Asylum learns that a casino with his name and appearance has opened, he goes berserk and escapes. In the casino, the Joker mingles with the guests and starts cheating. Bruce Wayne is also suspicious because the casino was hastily remodeled. Batman discovers that the casino owner Cameron Kaiser is bankrupt and intentionally designed the casino for Joker to destroy it, to then collect the insurance payout. Joker plants bombs in the basement, but when Batman reveals to him that he is being used, Joker becomes so angry that he wants to kill the casino owner himself. In a showdown, he kidnaps Kaiser in a helicopter, but Batman prevents the murder and crashes the helicopter into the casino. Joker is thrown into a slot machine and showered with coins. Back in Arkham, he watches himself on TV, disgusted by the other inmates. He remains annoyed. What do we learn about the Joker in this episode? He can't stand that someone is using his name for their own purposes. The mere existence of the casino deeply offends him. His ego is bigger than his plans. He wants to keep Kaiser alive in order to destroy him himself. He has a strange sense of morality. Although he cheats himself, he hates it when he is cheated. Episode 46, Almost Got Him. Joker takes over a talk show, holds the audience at gunpoint to make them laugh, and tortures Batman with an electric chair that responds to laughter. Catwoman intervenes but gets captured. Later, Batman learns in a bar that the Joker wants to kill her. In a trap, Batman is revealed, but the police are on site. He saves Catwoman at the last moment, but disappears again before she can recognize him. What do we learn about the Joker in this episode? He enjoys sadistic humor. He wants to slowly torture Batman with laughter. He underestimates Batman's cleverness. He always plans an escape, no matter how he is cornered. Episode 51, The Man Who Killed Batman. While a heavy rain falls in Gotham City, a man runs through the streets in a panic. In a newspaper, speculation runs, Batman dead? Mysterious crime fighter disappears. The man, Sidney Debris, seeks refuge in Rupert Thorne's estate. Thorne immediately recognizes him as Sid the Squid, the man who allegedly killed Batman. Sidney, however, is anything but happy about this reputation, because now everyone either wants to challenge him or kill him. To get Thorne's help, he tells his story. Sidney was a small-time crook who wanted to rise in the underworld. During a drug deal, he was used by his accomplices as bait to distract Batman. When the Dark Knight actually shows up, Sidney clumsily stumbles around. From a distance, however, it looks like he is defeating Batman. In the chaos, Batman loses his grip, a gas leak ignites, and a massive explosion shakes the roof. Sidney escapes with Batman's cape in hand, and suddenly everyone believes he has accomplished the impossible. He has killed Batman. The underworld celebrates Sidney as a hero, but the admiration is only short-lived. Other criminals challenge him, leading to a bar fight, and he eventually ends up in prison. There, Harvey Bullock actually believes in Batman's death and wants to reassure Commissioner Gordon. But suddenly, a lawyer appears and pays Sidney's bail. It's Harley Quinn, who takes him to the Joker. The Joker is initially skeptical about whether Batman is really dead. He stages a robbery to provoke Batman's appearance, but he doesn't show up. Joker is distraught. Without Batman, crime isn't funny. Finally, the Joker holds a funeral in the chemical plant where he was once created. But instead of honoring Batman, the ceremony ends with Joker putting Sidney in a coffin and throwing him into an acid pit. Sidney barely manages to escape. Back in the present, Thorne doesn't believe Sidney and considers him a cunning criminal. Just as Thorne is about to shoot him, Batman appears, alive and unharmed. He explains that he saved himself from the explosion and has been watching from the shadows the whole time. Sidney is arrested, but to his surprise, he gains respect from other inmates in prison. He has, almost, defeated Batman, outsmarted the Joker, and tricked Rupert Thorne. His dream of making a name for himself has come true. What do we learn about the Joker in this episode? Joker is disoriented without Batman. Without his arch-nemesis, he lacks the joy in his crimes. His ego is extremely vulnerable. He always wanted to defeat Batman himself. That a random klutz takes this triumph from him drives him to the brink of fury. Despite his wickedness, the Joker feels an almost touching sorrow over Batman's supposed death. His eulogy is sarcastic but sincere. His humor remains macabre. Even when he wants to kill Sidney, the scene turns into an absurd parody of a funeral. He can recover extremely quickly from setbacks. After the supposed funeral, he seamlessly shifts into a cheerful mood and suggests going for Chinese food. Episode 56, Harley and Ivy. Joker and Harley Quinn flee from Batman. While Harley brings Joker to safety, he blames her for a supposed mishap and quickly throws her out of the hideout. Deeply hurt, Harley decides to commit a crime on her own, and encounters Poison Ivy in the process. Together, they escape the cops and become a team. Ivy takes Harley to her toxic hideout and makes her immune to poisons with a serum. She persuades Harley to break free from Joker's toxic relationship, and together they embark on a crime spree that shakes Gotham to its core. The media hails them as the new queens of crime. However, Joker hates that Harley is replacing him. When he learns of her success, he becomes furious. But when Harley secretly calls him to confess that she misses him, he downplays his feelings, while secretly tracking her location. Joker and his men ambush Ivy and Harley. But Ivy strikes back. Joker's poison gas doesn't affect her. She overpowers him, but Batman shows up and falls into a trap himself. Harley and Ivy chain him to a table and throw him into a chemical pit, but he manages to escape. Meanwhile, the fight between Ivy, Harley, and Joker escalates. He shoots wildly, even though the surroundings are full of explosive chemicals. Finally, the hideout goes up in flames, and Batman saves him at the last second. Harley and Ivy swear that no man will ever defeat them, but they are captured by Renee Montoya. Arriving in Arkham, Harley tries once again to reconcile with Joker. Ivy is frustrated with Harley's naivety and throws a mud puddle in her face. What do we learn about the Joker in this episode? He is deeply insecure and hates it when someone else gets the attention. His dependence on Harley only becomes apparent when she is no longer there. He misses her, but his pride prevents him from admitting it. He sees Harley as property and not as an independent person. Despite everything, he cannot resist when she proves her loyalty to him. When she doesn't kill him in the end, he forgives her immediately. Episode 68, Trial. Gotham's new district attorney, Janet Van Dorn, wants to bring Batman to trial because she believes he created the supervillains in the first place. But she is kidnapped by Arkham inmates and forced to defend Batman in a sham trial. While the Joker acts as the judge, various villains claim that Batman is responsible for their crimes. But Janet skillfully refutes their arguments. Each of them was already mentally unstable before Batman. Finally, she realizes that Batman is not the cause, but the consequence of crime in Gotham. Although the jury finds him innocent, Joker still wants to carry out the execution. However, Batman manages to free himself, and with Janet's help, he escapes while Commissioner Gordon storms Arkham with the police. In the end, Janet realizes that Gotham needs Batman, but even more, a city that can get by without him. What do we learn about the Joker in this episode? He enjoys the power over others and plays the role of the judge with sadistic pleasure. He doesn't really want to fairly judge Batman, the trial is just a pretext to kill him. Despite all his jokes, he can't handle real logic. When Janet successfully defends Batman, he simply ignores the verdict. Episode 72, Harlequinade. The Joker steals a massive atomic bomb from an underworld auction and plans to pummel Gotham in one fell swoop. Commissioner Gordon asks Mayor Hill to evacuate the city, but he refuses because there is no evidence that the bomb is still in Gotham. In a desperate attempt to stop the Joker, Batman suggests bringing Harley Quinn out of Arkham Asylum. She is lured with a full pardon, but only if she helps to determine the Joker's whereabouts. Harley is more than willing to cooperate and leads Batman and Robin to one of the Joker's hideouts. Although the Joker is not there, Batman makes a shocking discovery. The Clown Prince of Crime has the entire city under video surveillance. While Batman inspects the monitors, Harley seizes the opportunity to don her typical Harlequin costume. She behaves playfully, but when Joker's hyenas attack Batman, it looks like she has betrayed him. However, Harley calls the animals back and explains that this hideout is a dead end. Their next stop is a secret gambling den run by the gangster Boxy Bennett. Batman is captured there, but before it gets dangerous, Harley starts a musical performance to distract the gangsters. She sings the song Say That We're Sweethearts Again, a macabre ballad about an abusive relationship, a nod to her own with the Joker. This gives Robin enough time to sneak in and free Batman. Batman is gradually losing patience with Harley, but she eventually reveals that the Joker is hiding in Mayor Hill's mansion. When they arrive there, they find the bomb on the lawn in front of the building, while the Joker relaxes in the pool. Hill begs the Joker to make a ransom demand the city would pay. But to Hill's horror, the Joker reveals that he doesn't want a ransom at all. He just wants to blow up Gotham. The clown activates the 10-minute timer on the bomb and prepares to flee in a biplane with his henchmen. While Batman and Robin fight, Harley frees herself and unexpectedly turns against the Joker. When Batman mentions that the hyenas and her fellow inmates in Arkham don't have time to escape, she panics. The Joker reacts annoyed and promises to buy her a goldfish, but she remains steadfast. The Joker realizes that Harley has truly betrayed him and leaves her behind. Harley frees Batman and Robin, but the Joker returns with his plane and begins attacking them with machine gun fire. Meanwhile, Robin is able to defuse the bomb in time. Joker, now completely insane, decides that Gotham must die anyway, and steers his plane in a nosedive towards the bomb. But Harley shoots a spring with a toy revolver, hitting him in the head and incapacitating him. He loses control of the machine, which then crashes into the mayor's mansion. The Joker survives, but Harley aims a submachine gun at him. Batman shouts at her not to pull the trigger, but Harley pulls the trigger. Instead of real bullets, a flag with the inscription "Rat-tat-tat" comes out. The Joker ducks at first, then realizes the punchline and starts laughing uproariously. "Baby, you are the best," he shouts, and the two fall into each other's arms. What do we learn about the Joker in this episode? His plan is pure destruction. He doesn't demand a ransom, he simply wants to erase Gotham. This shows his pure nihilism. He doesn't care about loyalty. Joker has no problem leaving Harley behind or letting her die. He only needs Harley when she serves him. After she betrayed him, he would have left her without hesitation, but when she supports him again, he joyfully takes her back. He is aware of his own ridiculousness. When he laughs with Harley at the end, it shows that he is not just a monster, but also a showman. Episode 83, Make 'Em Laugh. A man in a silly Condiment King costume robs an upscale restaurant. He is armed only with splashes of ketchup and mustard, but his aggressive demeanor forces the guests to hand over their valuables. Batman quickly apprehends him and reveals him as Buddy Standler, a well-known stand-up comedian from Gotham. The city is in shock. Standler's agent reports on television that Buddy was recently fired and is now being sued by the restaurant chain. The next day, another strange villain attacks, the Pack Rat, a thief dressed as a mouse who places no value on cash or jewels but steals seemingly useless junk. Alfred, who happens to be on the scene, calls Batman for help. Batman can overpower the Pack Rat, but when he swings a golf club, he accidentally hits a power line and loses consciousness. Without his costume, Batman and Robin recognize him as Harry Loomis, another famous comedian. They visit Arkham Asylum and find the Mad Hatter sitting motionless, with one of his own mind control chips on his neck. Someone has stolen his technology. When a third comedian, Lisa Lorraine, disappears, Batman and Robin recognize the pattern. All three were judges at Gotham City's laugh-off competition. Alfred finds a recording of last year's finale, in which an unexpected contestant appeared, Smilin' Shecky Rimshot, the Joker in disguise. He wasn't registered, was disqualified, and swore revenge. On the night of the current competition, the Joker reappears and declares himself the winner. When he tries to throw a load of Joker gas into the audience, Batman appears and foils the attack. Joker reveals his final puppet, Lisa Lorraine, whom he has transformed into Mighty Mom under mind control. While Robin takes care of her, Batman pursues the Joker. On the roof, the Joker explains that he didn't want the prize money or the trophy, he just wanted to be recognized as Gotham's funniest man. While fighting Batman, he jumps onto a giant clown balloon. Batman follows him, and during the fight, Joker accidentally pops the balloon. As he falls, the winner's trophy lands over his head, and his pants fall down. The audience bursts into laughter. Joker, who could never elicit genuine laughter with his jokes, is now unwittingly the butt of the joke. He is arrested and, humiliated, he hides his face in the trophy. What do we learn about the Joker in this episode? His vanity is enormous. It's not just about chaos for him, but about recognition as Gotham's greatest comedian. He can't stand real laughter. When the audience laughs at him instead of with him, he is devastated. His pride is his greatest enemy. In this episode, it is not Batman who truly defeats him, but the fact that he exposes himself. Alright, then let's take a detailed look at a characterization of the Joker once again. The Joker bizarrely combines comedy and horror. He loves to torment his victims with theatrical performances, be it through wordplay, absurd costumes, or quirky weapons. His crimes often follow a macabre but humorous logic, as if he is performing a single, long stage show in which he plays the lead role. In the episode Harlequinade, this becomes clear. Although he wants to drop an atomic bomb on Gotham, he treats himself to a relaxing bath in the pool beforehand, as if the impending massacre were just a minor formality. In Make 'Em Laugh, it's not even about money or power for him, he just wants to be recognized as Gotham's funniest man. This shows that he is not just a criminal, but a narcissistic entertainer who is working towards the ultimate punchline, the downfall of his enemies. Despite his showman-like demeanor, the Joker is not just a crazy clown, he is aware of his cruelty and enjoys it. In many episodes, he mocks his victims with sardonic comments before killing or torturing them. Examples from the episodes: in Harlequinade, he demonstrates his complete indifference to the lives of others. He wants to destroy Gotham, not out of greed, but simply for fun. In Make 'Em Laugh, his extreme vanity is on display, he is willing to mentally enslave people just to take revenge on the judges of a talent competition. In other episodes like Joker's Favor, he forces a completely uninvolved man to commit murder for him, just because this man once insulted him in traffic. His sense of humor is cruel and twisted, often based on the suffering of others. The Joker sees Batman not just as an enemy, but as the only person who truly understands him. Their relationship is almost symbiotic. The Joker needs Batman as an audience for his performances, and he enjoys the eternal challenge of confronting him. In Make 'Em Laugh, his narcissism is proven. He doesn't just want to create chaos, but to be recognized as the greatest comedian of all time, a recognition that Batman would never give him. In other episodes like The Man Who Killed Batman, it becomes clear that the Joker sees no purpose without Batman. When he believes that a small-time crook has killed Batman, he falls into a deep existential crisis. Batman is not just an opponent to him, but a source of inspiration. Without Batman, there would be no meaning to his actions, which shows that he not only wants to destroy but also draws a kind of affirmation from this eternal feud. Harley Quinn is one of the few people who are truly devoted to the Joker, but he does not reciprocate her loyalty. In Harlequinade, this becomes particularly evident. Harley tries to please him and even save him from himself, but when she betrays him, he leaves her coldly behind. But as soon as she wins back his favor, he takes her back, not out of love, but out of convenience. Their relationship is toxic and abusive. He constantly manipulates her and exploits her naive affection. He only rewards her with attention when it suits him. He punishes her when she defies him, only to accept her again when she returns repentant. Nevertheless, Harley remains loyal to him, a sign of how deep his influence on her is. He is not only a physical but also a psychological tyrant. Although he often appears to be a crazy clown, the Joker is actually highly intelligent. His plans may seem chaotic at first glance, but they are often surprisingly well thought out. In Make 'Em Laugh, he uses the Mad Hatter's technology to hypnotize famous comedians, a plan that is far more complex than it initially seems. In other episodes, he demonstrates a deep understanding of psychology by mentally manipulating his opponents, whether through his perfidious games or his unwavering charm. He is not an ordinary criminal, he is a mad genius who only fails because he overestimates himself. The Joker considers himself the greatest entertainer and the smartest genius of all time, but that very thing often leads to his downfall. In Make 'Em Laugh, he wants to be considered the funniest man in Gotham at all costs. But when the audience finally laughs at him, he breaks down. In The Laughing Fish, he is convinced that he owns the copyright to poisoned fish, an absurd example of his exaggerated narcissism. Ultimately, it is not Batman who defeats him time and again, it is his own hubris. His drive to be the best repeatedly leads him to prison or into situations that spiral out of control. Finally, I will attempt a psychiatric analysis of the Joker. The Joker is one of the most fascinating and dangerous figures in pop culture. His unpredictability, sadistic humor, and complete indifference to the lives of others make him a psychopathological extreme case. In this analysis, possible psychiatric diagnoses are discussed based on the criteria of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DSM-5. The psychopathology of the Joker is multifaceted, which is why multiple psychiatric diagnoses need to be considered. 1. Main diagnosis: antisocial personality disorder, ASPD. Antisocial personality disorder describes a consistently reckless, deceitful, and manipulative behavior without remorse. The Joker meets almost all DSM-5 criteria: lack of empathy, he shows no compassion for his victims and enjoys their suffering. In Joker's Favor, he torments an innocent man for years, just out of malice. In The Laughing Fish, he kills people seemingly without reason, just because they contradict him. Manipulative behavior: he is a master of deception and can instrumentalize people at will for his purposes, especially Harley Quinn. In Harlequinade, he plays with his partner's emotions just to exploit her for his own advantage. Lack of remorse. The Joker shows no regret for his actions, even when they cause mass destruction or murder. In The Man Who Killed Batman, he only feels sadness because he misses his favorite adversary, not because of the supposed death of a person. Impulsiveness and irresponsibility. He often acts irrationally and in the moment, without regard for consequences. In Harlequinade, he plans to destroy Gotham with an atomic bomb and considers it all a joke. Tendency towards violent behavior. The Joker repeatedly commits serious crimes, including murder, assault, and terrorism. In several episodes, he kills people just to make a point. These aspects clearly indicate ASPD. The Joker corresponds to the classic psychopath who knows no moral boundaries. 2. Narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. Joker also exhibits strong narcissistic traits, indicating a possible additional diagnosis of NPD. Grandiose self-image. He considers himself the ultimate entertainer, criminal, and genius. In Make 'Em Laugh, he doesn't just want to be rich or powerful, he wants to be recognized as the funniest man in the world. Need for admiration. He enjoys challenging Batman because he is his audience. He constantly seeks attention through theatrical crimes. Arrogance and hubris. He considers himself untouchable. In The Laughing Fish, he actually believes he can own the copyright to poisonous fish. Exploitation of others. He uses Harley Quinn as a tool and discards her as soon as she no longer serves him. Although NPD is clearly recognizable, ASPD remains the primary diagnosis, as his lack of empathy and propensity for violence are central. 3. Psychopathy. Psychopathy is not an official DSM-5 term, but a concept from forensic psychology, according to Robert D. Hare. It describes an extreme form of ASPD with particularly high manipulation ability, charm, and lack of fear. The Joker exhibits the following psychopathic traits: superficial charm, he can appear charismatic and witty. Lack of fear, he never seems to be afraid, even in life-threatening situations, he just laughs. Low impulse control, but high planning ability, he commits irrational acts but can develop highly complex plans. He is thus a prime example of high-functioning psychopathy. Some fans speculate that the Joker suffers from schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. But there is little evidence for that. Schizophrenia. The Joker does not have real hallucinations or delusions. He knows exactly what is real, he is just playing with reality. Bipolar disorder. He doesn't show any real depressive phases or manic states, just extreme emotions, which are mostly manipulative. Psychotic disorders are therefore rather unlikely. Conclusion. The Joker primarily suffers from antisocial personality disorder with extremely high psychopathy. This is accompanied by strong narcissistic tendencies. This combination makes him so dangerous. He has no remorse and no moral boundaries. He is manipulative, fearless, and calculating. He wants to be admired and sees himself as the center of the world. These factors make him not only a criminal but also an unpredictable monster who kills just for fun. His greatest weakness is his own pride. He wants to be admired at any cost and overestimates himself. Ultimately, the Joker remains a unique psychiatric phenomenon, a murderous clown who sees the world as a stage for his cruel game.